Meeting to order at 6 p.m. Welcome to Internal Affairs Committee meeting 5601. For the record, the date is December 4th, 2025, and the time is 6 p.m. We are currently located in the CSUN Senate Chamber, SU 313R, and we have members joining us online through Zoom. All the senators joining online should have their cameras on during the meeting. I will now open a period of roll call. Chair Brooks is present. SBPT Barlier is excused for the duration of this meeting. Senator Cameron. Present. Senator Curry.
Present.
Senator Prieto.
Present.
Senator Lay. Present. Senator Sade.
Present.
And Senator Cremon is unexcused. With 5 senators present, we are meeting quorum. At 6:01 p.m., I will open the land acknowledgement. The University of Nevada, Las Vegas wishes to acknowledge and honor the indigenous communities of this region and recognize that the university is situated on the traditional homelands of the Nuwuvi Southern Paiute people. We offer gratitude for the land itself, for those who have stewarded it for generations, and for the opportunity to study, learn, work, and be in community with this land. I will now close land acknowledgement, and at 6:01 p.m. I will open public comment. This is a time that anyone from the public may come and speak. Members of the public, you are limited to 3 minutes for your public comment. Please refrain from saying slanderous or any defamation of character, as I have the right to limit your comment. When you come to the podium, please state your first and last name and spell out your last name for the record. Does anyone have a public comment in person? Does anyone have a public comment through the telephone line provided to the public? I will give that 30 seconds. Seeing none, I will now close public comment at 6:02 p.m. And at the same time, I will open the approval of the minutes. Are there any discrepancies from the 5511 meeting minutes that were posted to the public? Seeing none, I will go into a period of voice voting. All in favor of approving meeting minutes 5511, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? With a vote of 5-0, the minutes have been approved. At this time, at 6:03 p.m., I will close the approval of the minutes. And at the same time, I will open agenda item 5A, nomination and approval of a vice chair of the Internal Affairs Committee. Okay, so just as a quick debriefing of what the vice chair of Internal Affairs will do. You are responsible for all of the general duties of the vice chair. That includes taking minutes during the meetings. And also, I do hope to be able to work with whoever my vice chair is over the winter break to make committee work. That's it. So those are like the 2 big expectations of the vice chair. There's also stuff in our operating policy about being there, being present during certain events in the complaint process. I encourage everyone who is interested to go up and put themselves forward. So are there any nominations for vice chair of the Internal Affairs Committee? Senator Curry.
Senator Curry, for the record, I nominate Senator Cameron.
Senator Cameron, do you accept your nomination?
I respectfully decline. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations? Senator Prieto.
I'd like to nominate Senator Curry.
Senator Curry, do you accept your nomination?
I do.
Okay, are there any other nominations? Senator Curry,
Senator Curry, for the record, I nominate Senator Lay.
Senator Lay, do you accept your nomination? Are there any other nominations? Senator Lay,
Senator Lai, for the record, I nominate Senator Saad.
Senator Sade, do you accept your nomination?
I accept the nomination.
Wonderful. Are there any other nominations for Vice Chair of the Internal Affairs Committee? Senator Cameron?
I nominate Senator Koss.
Senator Cos is not a member of the committee.
Next week I will.
Okay. Senator Sade,
Senator Sade, for the record, I nominate Senator Prieto.
Senator Prieto, do you accept your nomination?
I accept the nomination.
Okay. Seeing as there are no other nominations that can be made, we will go into a period of speeches. Each each nominee will have 5 minutes to give a speech to the committee. Hold on, let me get my clock out. And we will go in order of the nominations. So Senator Curry was nominated first. You can go to the podium and give your speech.
Sorry, 1 second, let me write this down. Okay.
Senator Prieto, could you hop on minutes while Senator Curry gives his speech?
Good evening, esteemed members of the committee. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sean Curry, and I'm a humble member of the Internal Affairs Committee. I've been a diligent member of this committee for the last year, and I've seen many things. I've seen bylaw changes, I've seen fights, I've seen tears, and I've seen the unsung work of this committee. The Internal Affairs Committee's job is simple. We are the direct voice of the students, and we will enforce their will on our bylaws and constitution. As directly elected figures, we ensure that our constituents have a say on our internal affairs and processes. This work inspires me, and I feel that it is our duty to run for positions such as this, and I feel it is important that I run for vice chair of this important committee. The vice chairship is sacred. I know because I used to be the vice chair of scholarships and grants, so I have experience taking minutes. I will also gladly assist the chair with anything from addressing concerns from the committee or to facilitating conflict resolution. I'm here for the committee and our chair. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Senator Curry. Who is next? Senator Lay, you can go up and give your speech. You will have the same amount of 5 minutes.
Everyone, my name is Lay, and I'm honored to speak with you today as a candidate for the Vice Chair of the Internal Affairs Committee. I'm running for this position because I believe that strong internal structure, clear communication, and consistent accountability are the backbone of an effective student government, and those are the strengths that I bring to the table. Over the years, I've built a foundation in leadership through a wide range of professional and campus experiences. Currently, I serve as the senator for the College of Liberal Arts, and my leadership extends beyond student government. I've interned for Congresswoman Susie Lee, Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, where I managed constituent communication, attended community events, and collaborated with staff on policy research. These roles taught me how to communicate effectively, handle sensitive information, and ensure systems run smoothly behind the scenes, skills directly relevant to internal affairs. On campus, I've also taken on leadership within the Alpha Xi Delta sorority, external marketing director, bid day chair, and upcoming membership vice president. These roles have sharpened my skills in coordination, documentation, and logistics. Across every experience, government, student leadership, work, and service, one theme has stayed consistent is that I care deeply about fostering strong, organized, and transparent communities. And also, fun fact, my typing speed can get over 100 words per minute on monkeytype.com. So, yeah. Thank you for considering.
Senator Sade, go ahead. And whenever you are ready.
Hello, everyone. My name is Giuliano Sade. I'm the senator of the College of Sciences. And just a little bit about me, I'm a third-year student majoring in biological sciences, and I'm on a pre-medical track. I chose to be a part of this committee for various reasons, but the main reason I joined is because I believe that accountability is one of the most important factors to any organization. And I believe that I am a great candidate for this position because of my strong ability to work and collaborate with others. And although I have an extremely rigorous course schedule on a pre-med track, I've always excelled in managing my workloads and making sure my responsibilities are always completed on time. It would be a pleasure to work with such a strong leader, Senator Brooks. And although I am new to CSUN and I'm not very familiar with how to take meeting minutes, I'm very open to learning how from previous senators. Thank you.
And our final nominee, Senator Prieto, you can start whenever you are ready.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Ali Prieto, and I'm running to serve as once again the Vice Chair of the Internal Affairs Committee. I'm excited for the opportunity to continue to contribute to CSUN. I'm especially grateful to be here today and to have previously served in the 55th legislative session as the Vice Chair of the Internal Affairs Committee. That experience not only strengthened my understanding of the committee's mission, but also uh, deepened my commitment to serving our students and with transparency, accountability, and purpose. During my previous term, I learned firsthand how essential this committee is to CSUN, ensuring that we hold our officers to a standard, operations are smooth. These responsibilities taught me how to balance a detail-oriented oversight with big picture thinking skills that I will continue to bring to the table in this role. I'm running for vice chair again because I genuinely believe that the internal affairs is the backbone of student government. We hold ourselves and our elected leaders to these standards uh, that project student trust. I want to help maintain that integrity while also supporting an environment where committee members can feel empowered. If elected, I will work closely with the chair to keep our meetings efficient and collaborative. I will help manage any reviews, other committee work. I thank you guys for your time, your trust, and for your consideration once again to serve as the vice chair of this committee. I look forward to the work that we started and to continue to help our committee succeed this year.
Before we begin our period of questioning, I would like to thank all of the nominees for their speeches. We will now go into a period of elimination votes. Each candidate has a 5-minute amount of time to answer any questions that the committee may have. If you go over that time limit, a senator can motion to extend that time. As there is only one member of the committee that is not running for this position, I request that all of the nominees keep track of their own time. Are there any questions for the nominees for vice chair of the Internal Affairs Committee? Senator Curry.
Senator Creed, for the record, thank you everyone for going up for appointment to this position. Two things I would like to rescind my nomination of myself and then ask the question to the three of you of what does conflict resolution look like to you all?
Let's go in the opposite order that we did our speeches in. So Senator Prieto, you can go first.
Okay, that's a great question. Resolution, excuse me. Um, For me, that has really evolved over my years of being in student government as well as extracurriculars. Especially now, I just got recently elected to be president of my fraternity. So especially now, I have to really understand conflict resolution and realize that there are two sides to an issue. You are responsible to being the neutral party in a sense because you want to see both sides of an issue. And it's really, in the best case scenario, hoping for a common neutral understanding, a neutral conclusion for this, because you always want to, you know, ensure that you're hearing both sides and doing what's best for both parties. Because at the end of the day, we're all human, we're people, we want to keep it fair.
Thank you, Senator Prieto. Senator Lay? Oh, wait, no, sorry, Senator Sade.
You need to go up.
You can if you'd like, yes. Let's have both of you actually go to the front, sorry. Sounds like there's not a million of you.
So I believe that conflict resolution, like Senator Pietro just said, involves hearing the sides of both parties. And us being the neutral side of the conflict comes with letting go of all biases before addressing the conflict. And once you hear both sides of each parties, it may be simple and it may be complicated, but I think working with a compromise in the more complicated areas of the conflict is what gets you to a strong resolution.
Thank you. Senator Lay?
I believe conflict resolution is everybody has their own truth. But at the end of the day, it's about the facts. As a person who's going to be in this committee and has held other leadership positions before, I do recognize that we have to put emotions behind us and just look at the facts. And maybe afterwards we can talk about our feelings, but for the moment being, just look at the facts.
Wonderful. Are there any other questions for the nominees? I have a question. Oh, I have the floor. Never mind. I have a question for all three candidates. If I plan to begin diving headfirst into the creation of committee work surrounding the audit, that will be jumping right into come this start of the spring semester. And I hope that my vice chair will be available to work with me during the winter break. What do all three of your time schedules look like during our break? Let's go back the other way. So Senator Lay.
For winter break, I look at my phone a lot. I'm always on my phone, I'm definitely gonna put the chair on my off D&D list so that even if I'm on D&D, I can still get past my notification. But yeah, I'm open availability. I'm gonna be in town all winter break, so.
Wonderful. Senator Sade?
My availability over winter break is extremely open. I just have volunteer work for the hospital every other day, and that's like my only mandatory events.
Senator Prieto?
My availability over winter break is generally free. I really do view it as it's a break period, so all the responsibilities I think are off the table that I had this fall.
Wonderful. Okay, are there any further questions? Oh, Senator Cameron.
Senator Cameron, for the record, this is a question to all of the candidates. Is there any ideas that you had in mind, for the committee?
Senator Prieto? Let's start with you.
So that's a good question. I think as my time as vice chair previously, Chair Brooks and I were working on the addition of committee work. So that's something I would definitely want to continue working on with her if elected to this position. I think it would be nice to see that be fulfilled in the spring semester.
Senator Sade?
Just to be completely transparent, being new to this, I'm not sure that I have any ideas currently of what I would add to this committee, but I'm sure if I were to work with Riley, that I could come up with something for the next upcoming semester.
Senator Lynn?
Same thing, being transparent, no ideas. What I do have is adaptability and transparency.
Are there any further questions for the nominees? Seeing none, we can now enter into a period of roll call vote. Okay, hold on one second, guys. And just as a reminder, we will be doing process of elimination. So the person with the least amount of votes will be removed, and then we will ask further questions and then vote again for the remaining two candidates. Okay. Where are my minutes? Senator Cameron. Senator Lake. Senator Curry,
Senator Sade.
Senator Prieto,
Senator Lay.
Senator Lake,
Anyway,
Senator Sade,
Senator Lay.
and with a vote of 4-1, 4 for Lay, 1 for Sade, and 0 for Prieto. Hold on, Idris, can I just,
Idris, for the record, what is your question?
never mind, never mind, Idris. Okay, Senator Sade, would you like to, remove yourself from the nomination?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So Senator Prieto has been removed and Senator Sade has removed himself from the nomination. Congratulations, Senator Lay, on being the vice chair of the Ways and Means. Okay. Congratulations. I'll be reaching out with you. I will send Elba the notification that you're my vice chair. And then we can set up a training for you with Liana. Okay. At 6:22 p.m., I will close agenda item 5A and I will open agenda item 6A, presentation of the Internal Affairs Committee. Let me just pull up my presentation. We will make this very quick. Okay. We'll go through this very quickly. But just to give everyone a quick rundown on what the Internal Affairs Committee is and what it does. We are one of 4 committees in CSUN. Obviously, there's the Ways and Means, the Scholarships and Grants, the University Initiatives, and Internal Affairs. It was formed during the 51st session, and it combined 2 other committees, the Constitution and Bylaws Committee and the Oversight Committee. So that should tell the committee kind of what we do and what the purpose of the Internal Affairs Committee does. There's really, all of these are listed in our bylaws and our operating policy, but just to give some context, there's 3 big ones that we do. There is we review constitutional amendments and changes to the bylaws. So we'll be going over that process in depth during this presentation. We investigate complaints made against CSUN officials, and we can give recommendations to the Senate regarding those complaints. And this has not been done in recent sessions, but we are also expected to conduct a yearly audit of the CSUN bylaws. Previously, in our bylaws, it was required that happened during the first half of the session. That changed during the 55th session, but I still intend to get that audit done by the first half of the session. And then kind of more hypothetically, we don't usually see these come to the committee, but we can also establish subcommittees. So if we feel like there is a gap in CSUN's ability to govern, if we need a new committee that focuses on a certain thing, or if let's say, for example, the Scholarships and Grants Committee, suddenly you have a flood of people coming to get grants, and the Scholarships and Grants Committee cannot keep up with both scholarships and grants. We could hypothetically split those 2 committees into 2. We also can meet with potential nominees to positions in CSUN if they're referred to us by the executive branch. So let's say there's 10 candidates for one Senate seat. Hypothetically, the executive branch could send all 10 here, and the Internal Affairs Committee could give their recommendation on who they would prefer. However, I do not think that this has ever happened. So we'll see if that ever does happen. Okay, constitutional amendments, we were supposed, okay. The constitutional amendment process is pretty in-depth. A lot more in-depth than our bylaws, and that's kind of on purpose. We're supposed to mimic the US federal government. So changing our constitution is supposed to be very hard. The first step of any constitutional amendment is that they will come here to internal affairs. And in internal affairs, we can discuss it. We can make any potential changes to it. And it only needs a majority vote to pass. So that's 50% of the committee plus one vote. If it is passed by the Internal Affairs Committee, it's then sent to our general counsel. They make sure that we're following all of the laws, that Nevada laws, Clark County laws, and US federal laws. And then they also will make changes to it so that it is like formatted in line with our the rest of our constitution, right? So after it comes back from general counsel, it will once again be seen by the Internal Affairs Committee. So we will review it with those changes. We cannot change the constitutional amendment that is given to us by general counsel. So it's either a yes or a no from the Internal Affairs Committee, correct? I mean, not correct, right? That's what I meant. Once again, it will only need a 50% plus one vote. And if it passes, it will then be sent to Senate. Senate is a lot harder to pass the constitutional amendment through. It'll need a 2/3 vote. If it can get that 2/3 vote, it's placed on the next electoral ballot, either in the spring or the fall semester. And it is voted on by the entire undergraduate student body here at UNLV, where we'll need a 2/3 vote to pass. And if the amendment is adopted by the student body, it's then sent to the NC Board of Regents to be ratified, and they're like, yeah, that sounds good. There is a step in there where the chancellor of NC, after it's voted on by the Senate, has to look at it, but that's not anything to do with us. Okay. The other big thing that Internal Affairs Committee does is the complaint process. If an elected or appointed member of CSUN is accused of violating our constitution, our bylaws, or our CSUN code of conduct, it comes here to IA. This is a really in-depth process, and it's laid out very in-depth in our operating policy. So I would recommend you all read it, but just to keep things very simple for our new members. There's two parts of a complaint procedure that go on a meeting agenda and are looked over during the meeting. The first will be the determination of a violation. I, as the chair, will read out the full complaint. On a complaint form, the complainant lists out what the offense was, any potential witnesses to the complaint, and then also what parts of our governing documents it broke. And before it even comes to the committee, myself, the vice chair, and Attorney General Rehas will review the complaint and see if it even warrants an internal affairs investigation. So during the determination of the complaint, I will read out the entire complaint process verbatim. I mean, not complaint process, the complaint that was made verbatim. And then the complainant and the defendant will be permitted to give a certain allotted time for their speech and their defense. And then the senators will be allowed to ask any further questions. It's important to recognize that there can be no discussion of sanctions, which is what are we going to do about this? That cannot be discussed during the determination of a violation. And that's really important for us all to remember. We're just determining whether or not something did happen, right? And so if it's voted on that we continue into an investigation, if we determine that a violation did take place, then I will, the chair can open the recommendation of sanctions to the Senate. And this is where the committee will can discuss sanctions or previous sanctions that were made against a member of CSUN. So the possible actions that we can take, we have three options really. There's complaint resolutions, stipend reductions, and impeachment. It's important to remember that these are all recommendations. The committee doesn't have the power to like enforce any of this. It first has to, like, once that recommendations of the Senate passes, recommendations of sanctions to the Senate passes, it goes to the Senate where it's then voted on. Correct me if I'm wrong, Attorney General Rehas, but the complaint resolution process and the stipend reduction process are a lot easier to get through than impeachment. Impeachment is a whole other process than those two.
Yeah, Adrios for the record, I honestly wouldn't say, okay, wait, to answer your question short, yes, impeachment process is a whole process. It takes like 2 meetings, even 3 meetings to even get it to the Senate meeting. It needs first an introduction, then a hearing, then it has to come back to Senate again to vote it on. However, impeachment process per our bylaws, it doesn't necessarily has to go through internal affairs first. It can go directly to the Senate. But it's always recommended to go through internal affairs first in case it doesn't requires impeachment.
Yes.
But yeah, to answer your question, yes, it is more, it's more lengthy process impeachment. But I think taking the action in writing an internal directive to any of these 3 recommendations are as lengthy as the impeachment process. I just think the impeachment process is more, how do you say it, strong. I yield the floor. Does that answer your
Yeah.
question? Yeah.
Yes, thank you, AJ Rehas. So yes, the complaint process is probably the flashiest thing that internal affairs does. It's my recommendation to the committee that hearing complaints is a heated moment in the like that we will all, hopefully we don't experience, but if we do experience, it is a stressful time. And remember that we're all representatives, right? So like what I'm trying to say is try and keep a cool head and try and keep an unbiased perspective on what's going on. Hopefully we don't get any complaints, but you never know. Okay, audit. We're supposed to do an audit. We will have a workshop about what the audit will actually look like in depth after winter break. And then we'll jump right into it. So I'm excited for that. Okay, the duties of the chair. I preside over meetings, I post agendas, and I act as the like mediator during our meetings. I remain unbiased in internal affairs. I also work closely with the Attorney General and the Senate President Pro Tempore to ensure that CSUN is properly functioning, that we're being transparent, and we're following all of our laws, right? In the event that charges are levied against a member of CSUN and we recommend sanctions to the Senate, it is my duty as chair to present those sanctions. I also, if there's any trainings that I think the committee needs, I'll reach out to UNLV departments or leaders here on campus to give those presentations and workshops. There's a lot of little things I do, but those are like the big things. Really, I'm here to support all of you. So you can contact me anytime about anything you need. I check my email religiously. You can also G-chat me. Please reach out to me if you need me. Yes. Otherwise, that's it. Please read, oh, yes. Yay, yes, clap for me. No, okay. Okay. Please read our operating policy and please read bylaw chapter 1101. I don't expect everyone to memorize everything, just please be familiar with those. And with that, I'll stop sharing. And after that, I will close agenda item 6A. And I don't think I need a report. Okay. At 6:36 PM, I'll close agenda item 6A and I will open agenda item 7, public comment. 1 second. Wait. Okay, sorry. Okay, I will now open public comment at 6:36 PM, and this is a time that anyone from the public may come and speak. Members of the public, you are limited to 3 minutes for your public comment. Please refrain from saying any slanderous or any defamation of character, as I have the right to limit your comment. When you come to the podium, please state your first and last name and spell out your last name for the record. Does anyone have a public comment in person? Seeing none, does anyone have a public comment through the telephone line provided to the public? I'll give that 30 seconds. Seeing none, I will close public comment at 6:37 PM. And at the same time, I will adjourn this meeting.